Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday.
Okay, Coach, thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight, we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Bortles now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Now a play fake. Bortles. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on is not just good enough.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that way.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on second down. Bortles. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. For Sutton, the receiving numbers from last week's game. 6 catches and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Now it's Lindsey. Shreds the tackle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup of 38. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Prescott to throw it. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll be brought down at the... yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, at these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
He's got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy! Get it! Come!
Throwing his Bortles on third down. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. 45, 46.
1st down, Prescott. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Check. Check. 45, come on. And keep it up.
From the red zone now, Prescott letting one go deep for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
Easy work. Easy work. Coming again.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. On second down, a run with Lindsay. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll find Lindsay here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
47.
On second down, it's Pollard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
45. Mike, 45. Watch the car.
Prescott on first down. Flush to his right. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Olivier Vernon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Here we go, 46 and 47.
A first down carry by Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Now Prescott on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Bortles now to throw. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
To throw is Bortles. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Prescott, he's going to find Gallup here, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
45. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Throwing. Prescott. And he rifles one incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Show a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he gets it down to the 32.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Broncos will take over on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
On the ready.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Bortles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jalen Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Bortles to throw for it on 4th down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football offense?
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Xavier Woods with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Throwing on second down. Bortles rolling to his right. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting here.
0.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. The Broncos on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Tackles.
Prescott looks to throw on first. That one complete. Elliott. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Prescott now. Escaping the pressure right. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? To throw is Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
And a Cowboy first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down.
A first down throw for Prescott. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
I got it.
Now Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles, and creating his own yard.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bortles. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On first down, Bortles. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Bortles nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing is Bortles on third down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. We're still throwing the football here. Obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Prescott. This is brought in by Gibson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's good for 28 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Throwing here, Prescott. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.